Hello, welcome to Sunflowers and Lemonade. I'm Latanya Brooks, and I've started this podcast for those of us who are dealing with grief, who have been through grief, whether it's the loss of a spouse, a family member, a friend. This is a good spot for you. So listen, today my topic is life after loss, what no one tells you. Listen, no one prepares you for the after. Not the funeral, not the casseroles, not the food, not the I'm sorry for your loss. Those moments are kind of structured. Those are like a script. Like that's what happens generally when there is a loss. But life after loss, there's no script for that. So today, I want to talk about what no one tells you about grief. Not the textbook version, not the inspirational version, but the real version. So no one tells you grief is physical. People say grief is just all emotional. They don't tell you it lives in your body. It's the exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix. So you have a lot of sleepless nights. It's your chest feeling tight in the grocery store because you saw someone's favorite cereal. Or for me, there was one time where I looked at this person and I thought it was him, and I knew it wasn't, but he looked somewhat like him, reminded me of him. It's forgetting why you walked into a room because your brain is busy replaying memories. You get foggy brains, you're forgetful, you're just tired, you're mentally exhausted. Grief is your nervous system on overload. And so your body is trying to survive a world that suddenly feels unsafe. And when that happens, you're not weak, you're not dramatic, you're just human. No one tells you the world moves on fast. So the bills are still coming, the emails are still coming, deadlines are still existing. And 3 weeks later, people stop asking, how are you? And so not because they don't care, but because their lives continue. Meanwhile, you feel it stopped the day you got the call or the day it happened. So there's this strange loneliness in realizing that your loss is going to be permanent, but everyone else's life temporary moves forward and you're expected to keep up. No one tells you you'll grieve the future too. Like you don't just grieve the person, you grieve the holidays, the advice you'll never get, the inside jokes that now live only in your head, and then the milestones they won't see. I know I said this in one of my other videos, but yesterday was really tough because I was listening to my baby play the piano, and she's been learning this song and she has till May to learn it. But she already has the song down packed, and here we are at the end of February, and it was just, she's learning the song on her own and adding her own little twist to the songs, and it reminded me of her dad, and so I just got tearful. So that's what I mean, the milestones and just the things that they do in life that I wish he was able to be here for. And so you also grieve the conversations you thought you'd have, like, you thought you were gonna be married these many years and see each other as you grow older and all these things. The apologies that may never have happened, the forgiveness that never came, or the one day plans that never got their day. So, for me, I don't have any regrets at all. I don't have any regrets. We spent My past husband and I, we spent a lot of time with our kids and with each other, and even in college we were inseparable. Like, they were like, I know where Latanya is, I know who she's gonna, here they come, you know. But grief is a loss of possibility. You know, you meet this person you think that you're gonna have a long time, you're gonna have forever. No one tells you about the guilt. You know, the guilt is quiet but loud. So you'll feel guilty for laughing, for having a good day, for not thinking about them for a few hours, for just surviving. You'll wonder, why do I get to be here when they don't? You know, and here's the truth that no one says out loud. Survivor's guilt is love with nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. And you don't feel guilty because you did something wrong. You feel guilty because you wish you could have traded places. And so there's all this, there's some couples, and I remember saying this, I don't want you to go first because it's going to be hard on me. I don't know if I could live. And then he'd say the same thing, you know. And that's just what love is. It's like, you don't want to go through losing that person. You just feel like they're going to be here forever. But living well is not betrayal. It's continuation. You have to keep moving. No one tells you grief is not linear. There are stages of grief, but they are not steps. They are weather patterns. Like, you can feel acceptance on Monday, and then on Tuesday you're upset, you're angry, you're hurt, and then the next day you have peace in the morning. Those tears just brought about peace, and then next at night, the nighttime comes, you're feeling devastated again. Like, it's just, you feel like weather changing. Everything's just gonna hit differently. The songs you used to sing or hear and sing to each other, you almost feel like you have to abandon those, because every time you hear those, it's just gonna bring back those memories, which it's okay. You don't need to abandon them, but sometimes you feel like that. A random day might be more hurtful than a day last year. Like, grief doesn't shrink. It doesn't change on a schedule. It doesn't have a schedule. It changes shape. No one tells you about the changes in relationships. You know, some people will show up in ways never expected, and others will disappear. Some won't know what to say, so they say nothing. And then some will say the wrong things and then try to change it, try to fix it. It's human, and it's, you know, you can't take it personal, but loss just rearranges your whole social circle. And sometimes it reveals who can sit in silence with you, who can stand the storm with you. It reveals that to you. The silence, it's scary, and it's a sacred time, but it's there. No one tells you healing feels like forgetting. So there will come a day when you don't cry, and it might scare you. You might think, am I moving too fast? Am I forgetting them? But healing is not erasing them. It's carrying on differently. And at first, grief is a wave. It can knock you down, but later it becomes something you carry in your pocket. A stone that's always there, but doesn't stop you from walking and moving ahead. Little things like necklaces, you can have rings, any little things that you physically can have a part of your life that can also help you as well. I still have my sister who we lost in 2000. I still have a book that has her signature in there. And nowadays you can get those signatures engraved onto necklaces or anything like that. I still have my past husband's high school graduation ring. I still have that, and we still have his wallet. My daughter has his wallet. We have a pillow whenever he had his heart surgery. One of my daughters still has that. We have his metronome. I believe it's a metronome, where a tuner. It sets the tone for when you're going to start singing the note. I forget what it's actually called, but we still have that. I mean, those things, they just hold memories for us. Pictures, of course, videos. You don't lose the love. You just learn how to hold it without it breaking you. No one tells you that joy and grief can be hand in hand. It surprises people, but you can miss someone deeply and still feel happiness because life goes on. You can cry in the morning and laugh at dinner. Grief doesn't cancel joy. It's still there sometimes. Because you lost something so precious, you understand how fragile everything else is. And so you realize how beautiful life is and how beautiful the people who still exist, like our children, how beautiful they are and how they're growing. Nobody tells you how it changes you permanently. Your priorities shift, your tolerance for drama shrinks, you appreciate small growths, you either become stronger or quieter or just more honest. You don't go back to who you were before. You become someone new and someone who has known love deeply because you have known deep loss. You can smile again. You can dream again. You can build again. You can love again. Not because the loss doesn't matter, but because it did matter. The people who lose shape in us, the people who we lose who shaped us, they live in how we speak. They live in the things that we would cook. The advice that we give, we may have learned from them, and the stories we tell, we can still tell those stories. Love does not end with death. It changes everything, but it doesn't end. Love doesn't end. So if you're grieving right now and the world feels heavy, I want you to hear this. There is no right way to do this. There's only your way. Take your time. Say their name if you need to. Rest when your body needs it, or cry when it needs it. Laugh when it surprises you. You're not broken. You're adapting to a world that changed without your permission. And that is one of the bravest things a human being can do. Life after loss is not about moving on. It's about moving forward with love in one hand and a memory in the other. And somehow learning to carry both. All right. Again, I'm Latanya Brooks, and this is Sunflowers and Lemonade. It's a podcast that women and even men can come on and listen and learn. And even you can share in the comments your experiences that you've been going through. All right. You have a blessed day. I love you, and God loves you more. Be blessed.